Yo, what's up, people? It's your boy. I'm Chris the Down One, and I am back with another video. You know what you got to do, man. Rate, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell so it'll let you know when my next live stream or video goes down. Follow me on social media on IG, Snapchat, Twitter. I'm Chris the Down One. You know the hook. Let's get into it. All right. So, we're gonna be talking about Antonio Brown, the dilemma that the Raiders are pretty much got themselves into, and Antonio Brown, his antics. And like they always say, be careful what you wish for, be careful what you ask for. All right. So without further ado, let's get into this. So Antonio Brown has pretty much been a no-show in training camp, and I think they have already played I think this is going on like their second preseason game, a no-show. No problem with that. Not because he's holding out, because he has an issue with these new helmets. The NFL they rolled out these new helmets, and these new helmets supposed to protect players in as far as having a concussion. And they have banned a lot of helmets, a lot of older helmets that they have tested, and they found out that these older helmets are not safe for players. And this is not an Antonio Brown problem. This is an NFL players problem. This is not where the NFL is picking on Antonio Brown. This is the NFL looking at it as, look, we don't want to be held liable for something that could perceive to hurt us down the road. Now, the NFL has been in several lawsuits with veteran players as far as player safety, concussions, and things of that nature. And the NFL has settled a lot of these lawsuits. Settling, just go ahead and settle. Okay, so they already are losing money on that. When you look at it on that mindset, so they have already done lost money. So the NFL, so they won't have any future lawsuits down the road. They are sunk a lot of money. I feel like it's like 80 million. I think it's more than 80 million in research to have better equipment, better helmets, so players won't run the risk of having concussions. Keep in mind, the NFL football is a very physical sport, okay, where little guys collide into big guys and vice versa. Okay, so it's already a sport where your body can be severely damaged, and you're basically sacrificing your body. You're basically risking your health, okay, playing football. No matter how safe you make football is a very violent sport. Okay, so they have put a lot of money in safety, because their mindset is, look, it's twofold. If you have better equipment, and if you make the rules where safety is an issue, then you can prolong a lot of these NFL players' careers. That's the reason why a lot of these quarterbacks are playing past 30, okay, which was unheard of in the 90s, 80s, and you can go back as the 50s, okay, just unheard of. So that's the reason why they dictated a lot of rules and regulations where the quarterback, you just can't just hit the quarterback. Basically, the quarterback can prolong that a quarterback's career, and at the end of the day, the quarterbacks are perceived the stars of the NFL. All right, so they're making all these rules and regulations. They put a lot of money into player safety, and now they have these helmets. Okay, and all players throughout the board, no matter if you're a quarterback or if you on the offensive line, defensive line, wherever the case may be, wherever your position, everybody has to use these helmets. All right, and uh, Tom Brady is using it. Aaron Rodgers has used it. Now, a lot of players have voiced their concerns about these helmets because you have to realize a lot of these players have played with the same equipment, throughout college. All right, maybe beyond that. All right, so they are a custom of having the same equipment. All right, and I can understand it from the mindset of if you're at work and you have a certain type of glove and you've been wearing this protective glove for like 10 plus years, and then the company rolls out and the company says, well, these gloves are deemed to be unsafe. Here's some gloves, here's some protective gloves we want you guys to use. Okay. Uh, you may have issues with it because you're accustomed of wearing the old gloves, but at the end of the day, you still have to come to an agreement. Look, we have to simply agree to disagree. I want to continue working here. So let me try out these new gloves. Everybody has issues of change. Okay. And it really doesn't matter if you're a janitor, if you a postman, you do retail, you're a doctor, you're a lawyer, or an NFL player. At the end of the day, we're all human. And at the end of the day, we have issues with change. Okay. But at the end of the day, you have to be an adult and realize that, you still gonna have to go along with the change. All right. Even with uniforms, everybody, if you at a job and you was accustomed to wearing this uniform, and then the company comes to you and says, well, we got new uniforms you guys want to wear, and these new uniforms you don't like it because of the look, the way how they look on you. But at the end of the day, you still have to work there to to still get paid. Okay. So you may have an issue with it, but at the end of the day, you're going to wear the new uniforms. Okay. And Antonio Brown has had an issue with these new helmets. All right. So these new helmets, and by the way, he claimed he tried them on. He tried a helmet. He did not like it because he just didn't like the fit, and he liked the old fit of his older helmet. Okay, so he filed a grievance the first time. Okay, and he lost. He lost that case. Now, normally somebody would just say, okay, I done explored all options. I done exhausted all the opportunities I can have to fight this. There's no solution at the end of the door. At the end of the day, let's go ahead and wear these helmets. And he has 40 different types of helmets to choose from. Not just one, not just 5, but 40. I don't think Antonio Brown went through all 40 helmets. Okay. But that's besides the point. All right. So he claimed he was going to be a good guy, going to wear the helmet, just chug along with it. Go, what's up, man? And then he said, then he went to one practice, and then yesterday he decided, nope, don't want to wear this helmet. I'm going to file for a second of grievance. Mike Maddox yesterday, the GM for the Raiders, basically said, look, we have explored all options. We're backing Antonio Brown about the issue with the helmet, but at the end of the day, we got to know who's all in and who's all out. Okay, we have explored all these options. All right, so there's no need to keep going on about it. All right, so Antonio Brown is going to file a grievance again and see if he can, win his grievance case the second time around, which he's not. All right. But here's the dilemma. When in Antonio Brown's life, okay, where he has demonstrated being the bigger person in the room, basically saying, look, at the end of the day, I don't like this decision, but at the end of the day, we're simply going to have to agree to disagree. When has Antonio Brown, been in that situation with his previous wives? Well, his girlfriends. When has he, in those times, said, "Look, I need to be the bigger person in the room. We simply gonna have to disagree to agree to disagree." Okay, with his with Pittsburgh, when has he demonstrated? You know what? Even with Facebook Live, his with him and his disagreement with him and Ben Roethlisberger, how Ben Roethlisberger treated him. At the end of the day, and I'm on record to tell you guys, I don't think Ben Roethlisberger is a great leader. Okay, I don't think he is. All right, but at the end of the day, two wrongs don't make a right. All right, and we're not going to go into this, but this is already going to be a long enough video. So, when has he has been put in that position where he said, you know what, I don't agree with this decision, but we simply just going to have to agree to disagree, and we just need to move on? When has Antonio Brown moved past it? What time in his timeline throughout his NFL career where he says, I'm moving past it? He never demonstrated that, because he's always been the type of person who always get what he wants. So he thinks. Okay? And you can go back to when he got traded to the Raiders. Even in negotiations, truth be known, the Pittsburgh wanted to trade Antonio Brown to Buffalo. Buffalo had, better picks, but Antonio Brown threatened that if that trade would have went down, he was not going to sign a contract there. So ultimately, they signed him to the Raiders because the Raiders gave him what he wanted. He wanted guaranteed money. He got a contract, 2 years of that contract guaranteed. Okay, the picks were not significantly better than the Buffalo picks, but they were picks. Okay, so the better deal in Pittsburgh mindset was with Buffalo, but Pittsburgh was so happy as an organization to get rid of him, they just wanted to cut their ties with him. So they sent him to the Raiders. He got everything he wanted, right? You would think he would be happy, okay? Throughout this process with the Raiders, you look at the Hard Knock television show, he's sitting in the back. He's on social media as John Gruden is talking to the rest of the team, liking pics, looking at his bank account, insignificant things to demonstrate to everyone that's watching Hard Knocks that, he got his money. And he did get his money. All right? But is Antonio Brown satisfied? Is he happy? And I don't think he is. And I just think this helmet issue is a larger scale issue. Now, the Raiders has given him everything he wanted, and they clearly want to give David Carr a weapon, and they have bolstered the roster to cater to David Carr so they can determine whether or not David Carr is truly the one for the Raiders. Because, David Carr have had some success with the Raiders, but at the end of the day, you really don't know what you're getting out of David Carr. All right? So you want to see, John Gruden wants to see, is he one of John Gruden's guys? And I feel like John Gruden has pacified this issue with Antonio Brown, and why this is going to end badly for him. Now, a lot of people saying that they can see a scenario where the Raiders could want to sever their ties with Antonio Brown, but who's going to take on that contract? and the antics. He's on the other side of 30. Okay, let's just say hypothetically, and this is a good probability that he doesn't have the same career, that he doesn't have the same stats he had in Pittsburgh, like he's having with the Raiders. Let's just say it's down. Okay, then people are going to assume that it's David. I mean, Antonio Brown is getting older, and it might be an issue where David Carr is not like Ben Roethlisberger. I think Ben Roethlisberger, the way how he can extend plays, okay, is very beneficial for the receiving core because eventually they're going to get open, okay. But is David Carr like Ben Roethlisberger? Is he going to be able to extend plays? I don't think so. So that's the dilemma with uh, with Antonio Brown, you know, and I feel like this is going to end very badly for Antonio Brown. Real fast, real quick. We're already at 16-minute mark. Sorry about that. I want to talk about the Ezekiel Elliott situation. All right. And I only want to spend like 4 minutes on this. Okay. So Ezekiel Elliott is still holding out. He's got 2 years remaining on his contract. Here's the problem with Ezekiel Elliott. With the new rules and the way how NFL teams determine to be successful in NFL, running back is obsolete. And with the salary cap, and you want to spend your money and your dollars elsewhere on other positions, not to mention the fact that the Dallas Cowboys, draft wise, have picked very well on the defensive side of the ball. They have a lot of jewels on the defensive side that's going to be, when they're done with their contracts, going to be expecting a payday. Okay, if they keep the pace that they're on right now. And the Dallas Cowboys, they already have to pay Dak Prescott. I feel like it's going to be $30 million a season, possibly $40 million a season. Either way, that's a lot of money for a quarterback. All right, but you have to have him. I mean, you don't have a successor for Dak Prescott, and I don't see a scenario where they're going to they're just going to trade Dak Prescott. It's not, I don't feel like it's going to happen. You put him on another organization, you're going to have buyer remorse, okay? Even though I don't feel like he's Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers, I don't feel like he's the elite of the elite. I feel like he's a good system quarterback, okay? And Amari Cooper, you can't let him go because you wasted a first-round pick just to get Amari Cooper. So you're going to have to give him his money. So you're going to have money already tied up on Amari Cooper and Dak Prescott. And if you're thinking about signing Ezekiel Elliott a big-time contract, okay, that's 3 players, and you already spent a lot of your money. Therefore, you're not going to be able to sign these other players on the defensive end. Okay, so what Jerry Jones is assuming that maybe Dak Prescott would take a hometown discount. All right, they pay Amari Cooper, and then maybe Ezekiel Elliott will be happy with an incentive-laden contract where they pay him more if he reached certain types of goals and certain type of individual goals. Okay, and they just have to roll the dice on that, and and then they'll have enough money to sign the other, particularly on the defensive end, because they have really hit big on the defensive side, and they don't want these players to go. All right, but at the end of the day, the way how the NFL is structured, you don't really need an Emmitt Smith in your backfield. Okay, you don't really need a Barry Sanders in your backfield to be successful. You don't need Adrian Peterson or whatever the case may be. You don't need a superstar blue chipper running back to be successful in the NFL, because the way how the rules are determined, you don't need that. So I feel like at the end of the day, they're gonna have to figure out a contract so Ezekiel Elliott can come back to camp, because I feel like this could be the year for the Dallas Cowboys. If I think Dak Prescott is only going up. I feel like Amari Cooper is accustomed to Dak Prescott, so the chemistry, the dynamic is there. And Ezekiel Elliott, he's going to have a phenomenal year, and then plus that defense, meaning there's an opportunity where they can go to the Super Bowl, all right, or go deep into the playoffs. They went deep, but they ran into a juggernaut of the Rams. Okay, so that's all I gotta say on that. And that's all I gotta say on Antonio Brown. If you have a message, I know 80% of my fans, you guys watch the re-air. I hope everyone has a lovely day. It's your boy, I'm Chris the Don One. I really didn't even want to talk about this topic, but I had to. All right, this is your boy. I'm out. Deuces.